Ayun 'no, radio check. Magandang umagahan pala po sa inyo guys diyan. Eto na naman po tayo, si Bojoy 2.0, another episode. Radio check po muna, just wanted to check my audio. How are you? How are you guys? You know, napakaganda ng mga pakinggan guys. Magandang umagahan, hapunan, at kung saan po man kayong sulok ng mundo. Kumusta po kayo? At nandito nga po kami, si Boji at nagkakape na naman po tayo guys. Drinking coffee while makikinig na naman po tayo itong napakagandang mga usapin guys. At nakalagay nga dito napakaganda ba? Teka, napakaganda na ang title nga ng pakikinggan po natin dito at re-reactionan is The Psychology of People Who Cut Off Their Family. Nako, napakatindi niyan guys Ang psychology daw ng ng tao na pinutol ang relasyon sa kanilang mga pamilya o ugnayan, at yun ba yung Tagalog? Ugnayan sa kanilang mga pamilya ba? Teka. Magandang hapunan, magandang humagahan, magandang tanghalian. Kung saan man po kayo ng sulok ng mundo dyan, what's up, what's up, what's up? Magandang araw po sa inyo. Ito po, share natin yung share ko muna yung natin, yung stream natin. Pero ganun pa man, umpisahan na po natin tong pakikinggan po natin. Kaya salute sa ating mga kabrobro dyan. Hope everybody is having an amazing day. At titingnan nga po natin to na yun nga pamagat nito nga papakinggan po natin na The Psychology of the People Who Cut Off Their Family. Umpisahan na po natin to. Let's get it.
America will never admit out loud. A moment when you're sitting alone in your car, engine off, hands trembling on the steering wheel, staring at the house you grew up in, and for the first time in your life, you realize you can't walk through that door anymore. Not because you don't love them, not because you're angry, but because something inside you has finally broken in a way that can't be ignored. Going no contact is one of the most forbidden choices a human being can make. It goes against everything we're taught. Family is forever. You only get one mother. Blood is thicker than water. In American culture, where loyalty to family is treated almost like a moral law, choosing to step away doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like a betrayal, a sin, a line you're not supposed to cross. Yet researchers estimate that over 25% of adults in the United States are now estranged from at least one family member.
Napakalaki nun guys. Napakalaki nun. Almost 25% of the adults. Wow. Parang mga napakadami na ng this generation na talagang nag-cut off na sa kanilang mga pamilya. At ito nga po, alamin natin why, ano ba pong mga nangyayari, ano ba pong behind the psychology na bakit ba po may mga ganitong bagay na nangyayari. Salud-salud sa ating mga kabarbo dyan. Magandang umagahan, magandang hapunan. Sana po kayo nagkakape na dyan. Ito po, pakinggan po nga natin, napamagat nga po nito ni The Psychology of People Who Cut Off Their Family. Ang yun ba yung Tagalog doon?
Millions of people who looked at the people who raised them and whispered, I can't survive inside this relationship anymore. And maybe the real question isn't why they left, but what kind of pain makes such a taboo choice the only path to staying alive. In this video, we're going to uncover the real psychology behind going no contact, the patterns, the wounds, and the truth most families never face. If you've ever questioned your experience, this breakdown will give you clarity, language, and validation you may have never received. Let's begin.
You know? Ito na po guys. So, magandang umagahan po dyan guys. Kung saan po kayong sulok ng mundo dyan. Kung bago pa lang po kayo dito sa page ni Boji 2.0, nakakapilan po tayo at nakikinig po tayo ng mga ganito pong usapan na dito sa mga pinapakinggan ng mga ganitong oras dito sa California. Magandang umagahan po. Ito nga po ang pinapakinggan po natin. Nakalagay po dito, the psychology of the people who cut off their family. Ano kaya po kaya? Bakit kaya po may mga nangyayaring ganyan? Good day po sa inyo dyan How are you guys doing today? Ito na po, umpisahan natin.
Estrangement doesn't happen in a single explosion. It happens in the quiet, in the small moments no one else notices. People often imagine that family breakups are caused by a dramatic fight, a shouting match at Thanksgiving, a disagreement about politics, a forgotten birthday. But in almost every real case, the final straw is never the heaviest one. It's simply the last one placed on a back that has been breaking for years. Family estrangement is a slow burn, a psychological erosion that unfolds over decades. It begins with moments so subtle you barely register them. The dismissive comments, the controlling questions, the emotional minimization.
You know, may mga maliliit talaga na nangyayari sa buhay natin na talaga yung isang tao, why the person really put distance. Kung sa ano pa nga during the pandemic, social distance themselves with some. I mean, yun nga yung sinasabi po nila na if or kung wala kang masasabing mabuti, wag mo na lang sabihin. Good day pa nga sa ating mga kabro-bro dyan. Ito nga guys may lumalabas nga pala dyan na balita guys na ano ba tayo ngayon na umiinit na ang update na parating ng laban ni John Real Casimero. Pero pakinggan po natin to.
Disguised as advice. Individually, they seem harmless. Together, they form a landscape of chronic stress. You learn to adapt. You learn to shrink. You learn to ignore the tightening in your chest every time they call your name. This is what psychologists mean by death by 1,000 cuts. It's not the blow that destroys you. It's the repetition. And then one day, something small happens. A joke at your expense. A boundary crossed. A moment of disrespect. So familiar it feels scripted. But this time, something inside you whispers, I can't do this anymore. Not because the moment was different, but because you are. By the time estrangement appears from the outside, the truth is simple. The relationship has been dying in silence for years. The final moment is just the part people choose to see. In healthy families, there is space, emotional, psychological, and relational space between parent and child. Space to think differently. Space to feel differently. Space to become.
You know, kaya napakaganda guys na bibigyan nyo ang isa't isa ng yung ba tawag dyan na space or pagitan. Na para ba sa pagitan na yan, may express ng bawat isa yung kanilang freely yung expression ng kanilang being, pagkatao. Kaya mga minsan guys ito nga the psychology of people who cut off their people. Hindi natin alam kung anong nangyayari. Pero salud sa ating mga kabro-bro dyan magandang umagahan, hapunan at ako saan po man kayo nasulok ng mundo dyan. Ito po guys, pakinggan natin to.
Become a separate human being. But In enmeshed families, that space simply does not exist. Enmeshment is not loud, it's not dramatic. It doesn't look like abuse from the outside. It feels like being loved so tightly that you can no longer breathe. It feels like a parent who says, I know you better than you know yourself. Or, if you really loved me, you would do this. It's the collapse of boundaries, the psychological merging of two identities into one. Your emotions become their emotions. Your choices become their business. Your life becomes an extension of theirs. And here's the invisible wound. When you try to separate, even in small, harmless ways, it triggers panic or anger in the parent. Choosing a different career feels like betrayal. Setting a boundary feels like disrespect. Having your own private thoughts feels like abandonment.
Kaya yun ang pinakamaganda dun, guys. May mga anak kayo, may mga pamilya kayo. I highly recommend na, kasi minsan kasi guys with the impulse of emotion, marami tayong nasasabi or we tend to create words para yung piano sa frequency na nasabi natin sa ating mga anak na naapektuhan yung kanilang somewhere, somehow, process of doing things. Kaya ito nga the psychology of people who cut off their family. Yung kasing iba for example, may mga, ewan ko lang may napapakinig ko lang to, may mga magulang daw na dahil daw somewhere, somehow in their life na hindi nila na-accomplish the things they need to accomplish for some particular reason, para bang itong ginagawa nila yung mga anak nila or way na ang gusto nilang makita tong success na to sa kanilang mga anak. But how about hindi itong bagay na to para sa kanila? You know what I mean? How about this is not what they love to do? So I highly recommend let them do the things that they want to do. Let them express the way they want it to. Ito nga, the psychology of the people who cut off their family. Nag-umpisa pa lang when they are young. Salot sa ating mga kabarbo dyan. Magandang umagahan, tanghalian, hapunan, kung saan po man kayo sulok ng mundo. What's up guys? Pakinggan po natin to.
Family systems theorists call this a failure of differentiation, the ability to be connected without being consumed. In enmeshed households, connection comes at the cost of autonomy. Over time, the child learns a devastating truth. I can either stay in this relationship or I can be myself, but I cannot be both. And that realization is often the first quiet step toward estrangement, long before the words no contact ever appear. Before anyone goes no contact, there is almost always a long, invisible trail of attempts to fix the relationship. Quiet conversations, carefully written texts, late-night apologies that weren't yours to give. Most adult children don't walk away without trying. They walk away because trying never changes anything. Psychologists call this the reconciliation cycle. Hope conversation, temporary softness, regression hurt again. It usually happens many times, sometimes over decades. You tell them calmly how their comments affect.
Yun nga iba guys dyan talagang nakita natin na may mga nasabi or may mga nasalita na nagamit na mga nakausap natin na mga especially dito sa social media na some of them never, hindi na uli nila nagkandamatay na yung kanilang mga pamilya guys, nanay, tatay, because of this hindi na nila ever nakita ang kanilang mga magulang na buhay.
For a moment, they seem to understand. They may apologize, or at least act gentler. And then, almost predictably, everything snaps back. The same criticism resurfaces. the same boundary is crossed. The same emotional wounds reopen as if the conversation never happened. Therapy with the parent rarely helps either. Not because therapy is ineffective, but because emotionally immature parents often treat it like a performance. They behave perfectly in the room, then rewrite the session afterward. The therapist agreed with me. You were exaggerating. Eventually, the child reaches a painful clarity. There is no version of the conversation that makes them hear you. No
Wow.
tone soft enough. No script careful enough. No amount of love strong enough to make them change. And when reconciliation fails again and again, distance begins to look less like abandonment and more like survival. If leaving
Sana kung, may mga anak tayo, sana hindi umabot sa gano'ng, punto ano guys na aalis na lang sila sa piling ninyo. You know, hindi niyo na sila ever makikita. That take a toll hindi lang sa mga bata, that take a toll on the psychology of this younger generation. Kaya nga sa nasabi nila, guys, protect the younger generation. It's not just the mind. Make sure we nurture them. But because this younger generation is the future of the world, man. Protect their minds. Ito nga po, we tapping into this, understanding the psychology of people who cut up their family. Kamusta po kayo dyan? Pakinggan po natin to, guys.
a toxic parent were simply a matter of logic, most estrangements would happen in childhood. But they don't. They often happen in someone's 30s, 40s, even 50s, because the bond between a child and an unhealthy parent is not rational. It's biological. It's survival.
Salute to my good friend, Third Coach. What's going on, Third? How are you? You know, I mean, I'm just stopping and listening to this, and it says right here, the psychology of people who cut off their family. You know what I mean? I was stopping to this because I posted a short clip, right? That I put the title. The title is Amazing Clip when Michael Jackson put Beyonce's on the music industry, right? I put that clip on. Can you believe I got in so much mixed emotion on this clip? Right? I just wanted you to see a Third Coast. I'll let you see the clip, right? I got in so much mixed attention of this clip. Right? Like now I feel like I don't even know what to say. I want you to see this. That's why, you know what I mean? I want to talk about the psychology that we need to watch this clip. Watch this clip. This
Let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm running and I'm feeling.
Here, you can do. You want to sit on? You want to make this easy? You can sit on my
I
lap.
got an
Michael?
200 comment on this
Michael?
clip
Hi.
and
Okay,
mixed
we're-
emotion. Some people it's creepy.
All
Just
right,
watch
we're in
it.
the studio, and I have Beyonce sitting on my lap.
Smell it to Terrence, my
I'll
brother.
put you on speakerphone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone to talk to her, and give. Okay, you're shaking. Okay, you
Some
ready?
people think are creepy.
Okay, hold on.
Some people think they feeling her. But
Michael?
watch this.
Yes, Mark.
Here we go. I have Beyonce here.
Hi.
Hi, Beyonce.
How you doing?
Well, good. I really appreciate you doing this because we're giving back.
I'm very honored. I can't believe I'm doing
People think and asking what type of give back that particular statement that Mike is saying. But here we go. Third and Terrence. And the comment section feel like she is I don't even want it to say. Over 200 comment.
this.
Yes. sweet.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
But thank you. Brad Buxer is putting down the track now.
Right here, Michael.
Brad,
Yes.
you're putting down the track now.
Yeah, Beyonce's gonna go in the studio and lay it down now, and you're gonna give her inspiration.
Michael, when she was listening to the track, she fell in love with it immediately.
Yes, I did. I love it.
You did?
Yeah,
Yes.
immediately, Michael.
It's wonderful.
She lit up. I mean, immediately from the very first line of the first verse.
But please don't, Beyonce. My voice.
Your voice sounds great.
You sound
He was getting over the flu when we recorded this.
You know, the flu. I had the
And-
flu.
This is only his demo track for everyone.
That's
to
how his
hear,
voice
so,
sounds when it's
Yeah.
when he has the flu.
well. It sounds wonderful.
does.
And the first line, I screamed. Literally, I screamed.
And Michael, she's these guys can sing. I mean, she's gonna nail this. This is great. So we're happening. The vibe couldn't be any better.
Let's get going then.
All right,
All
let's
right.
get going.
Love you, Michael.
I love you too.
All right,
Bye.
talk to you later, Michael.
Love you.
Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Okay, they were saying, T, right? On that particular clip, right? That Michael Jackson sounds like he was, somehow on medication. He doesn't sound right. And they are just, as I said, I got in like over 200 comment and I got in mixed emotion. But I say that's the day that Beyonce got put on in the music industry by Michael Jackson. I remember when salute to Mike, man. He put everyone in the game and you'll be all the way to the top. I remember when Prince got called in for the first time on the stage. Salute to everybody. But we're back into this, man. I just wanted to back because here we go. Why people? There you go. The psychology of people look out of their family. Salute to everybody, man. Let's step into this.
Trauma bonding forms when love and fear come from the same person, when comfort and pain arrive in the same voice, when the parent who hurts you is also the parent you must cling to in order to feel safe. This creates a powerful neurological loop. Moments of kindness trigger dopamine. Moments of fear trigger cortisol. And your nervous system becomes addicted to the cycle, not because it feels good, but because it feels familiar. To survive inside this emotional storm, many children develop what psychologists call a false self, a version of themselves designed to.
There we go. Is everybody at this moment, especially in 2026, are performing under false self? Me, I still trying to understand to those man. That's why I highly recommend if you have children, make sure you tell them that they are the best every day, Bobby, because the understanding of words, right? Everything is like a key. You know what I mean? Think about it like a frequency. The moment that you hit the right note and say the right thing to your children, man, it's like it's like a harmony. They will play that thing. So make sure you tell them that they are the best every day before, look, the cut-off stage happened. It happened. Sometimes in our life, we use words that we unconsciously, because of the impulse of our emotion, and we say it. We didn't even think about it. It just came out. Pop. And we didn't even know that, I remember when they have this, stick and stone may hurt my bow, but words can never hurt me. Nah. They did not understand the psychological aspect of word. So let's everybody.
Keep the peace. The quiet child, the agreeable one, the fixer, the caretaker, the therapist of the house. Some children become parentified, carrying adult responsibilities long before their brains or hearts are ready. They become the problem solver, the emotional sponge, the one who absorbs the chaos so everyone else can function. And when a child grows up being praised only for who they are in service to the parent, their real identity begins to disappear. But adulthood has a way of exposing the truth. A stable relationship, a new baby, a therapist's question, a single moment of exhaustion, and suddenly the false self begins to crack. You catch yourself wondering, who am I when I'm not trying to keep them calm? Why do I feel so
Before it gets too far that way, make sure you take a moment, take a pause, get yourself a copy, write yourself a blunt before you forget yourself. Hey, you have to take a pause. You have to pause and look and observe around you. It's like, why? You're getting too far. We all need group of people around us. Trust me, guys. You cannot do it by yourself. Even the animal kingdom itself, they call the herd. You see, even the ant, the way they flow, unison, collectively. It's like the exact same thing as the broom. You know, when we clean the broom, it doesn't matter how we, some thread are small, some thread are strong, some threads are weak. But as long as it's together, we should be able to move stuff around. But I do not understand how we are now. I mean, I don't know, man. But because the understanding in the US till today, we still celebrate 4th of July. We need to celebrate United Day. You know what I mean? To unite as one. But we want it to be individual. Salute to everybody. And let's understand, man, before they, cut off, get them back. Don't let that happen.
safe around the people who say they love me? Leaving takes decades, not because the pain isn't clear, but because the attachment runs deeper than the wound. And breaking that bond feels like tearing out a part of your own history, your own identity, your own childhood. Yet for many, it's the only way to finally breathe. For most people, setting a boundary is simple. You say, "Please don't speak to me that way," and the other person adjusts. But in toxic or emotionally immature families, a boundary isn't heard as a request. It's heard as an attack. This is where narcissistic injury comes in the...
Wow. Look at that. Look at that. That's the best depiction of it. I mean, nothing left. We've seen it time and time again, nothing left. It's now the moment that this person wakes up. The words that they hear. Oh man, I can't. Salute to everybody. But here we go. That's why, they say we tap into this understanding the psychology of the people who cut off their family. Don't let it drift all the way. Don't let them get cut off. It's harder to move by yourself. Trust me.
deep, sudden wound a parent feels when their child implies they are anything less than perfect. A healthy parent can reflect. A wounded parent cannot. They don't hear what you said. They hear what their ego interprets. You're a bad mother. You failed as a father. You're the problem. And because that interpretation feels unbearable, they respond with a predictable defensive pattern known as DAVO. Deny. I never did that. Attack. You're too sensitive. You twist everything. Reverse victim and offender. After all I've done for you, this is how you treat me?
Woo! After all I've done for you. That's why now the relationship in 2026 is no longer a relationship. They call it what? Transactional. I cannot even believe they used that word in 2026. That's sad. I will do things so that you can do for me. Because if you don't do for me, I won't do it for you. The unconditional love to somebody, you have to do it because you love them. There is no such thing as return. But now, they value their love with material things. You give me a kiss, I'll give you a burger. A taco ma. I mean, I don't know, but hey, look, the psychology of people who cut off their family. Even we seen it the way. I can't even believe I must say the way this in our time is. It was like, hey, if you don't clean your room, you're not gonna get nothing for Christmas. No. How about they are?
At that moment, communication becomes impossible. You are trying to solve a relationship issue. They are trying to protect a fragile self-image. You're speaking from reality. They're speaking from injury. A simple, healthy boundary like, please stop yelling at me, becomes a battlefield. A moment meant to create safety turns into a war you never intended to fight. Over time, the child learns an exhausting truth. There is no amount of calm conversation, no tone gentle enough, no script perfect enough to make a wounded parent hear a boundary as
There we go. There we go. That's where. That's the statesman. The wounded parents. That is a reality. But because they don't know, some of the parents actually, they said, oh yeah, he was just an accident. I was in the night partying. That's why they are out there partying. They are wounded, drinking out there. They are wounded so that they could forget all of these things. That's what nothing against. They are all wounded. Then now when they bear fruit, the fruit is wounded. That's what we've seen it. Salute to everybody. That's why words is very, very important. Make sure you tell to your kids. I highly recommend to tell them that they are the best every day. The moment you wake up, the moment you drop them off to school, the moment they are the best every day. Nothing more, nothing less. You bear the fruit. That's your children. There's no amount. They don't have to repay you for nothing. But now I feel like in this day and age, the moment that they have children and, the children become successful, I feel like it's now children's responsibility. I know. I mean, if they love you, salute. But don't make them responsibility. Let them enjoy their life before what? You reach the stage, the psychology of the people who cut off their family. Before you get to the point of no return where they cut you off. Salute to everybody, man.
anything but betrayal. And this is often where the first thoughts of estrangement begin. If you spend any time in estranged parent forums, you'll see the same sentence repeated over and over again. I have no idea why my child cut me off. But when you talk to the adult children, their stories sound nothing alike. I wrote them a 10-page letter. We sat down for hours. We went to therapy for a year. So, why do so many parents insist they were given no reason? Psychologists call this phenomenon the missing reasons. Not because the reasons were never given, but because the parent
Wow. I didn't even know that they have a term for it, guys. The missing reason. What is the missing reason? I guess I have a lot of more things to understand. I have a lot of terms too. What is the missing reason? The only missing reason is the person too willing to give unconditionally, to love unconditionally, to care unconditionally without any return. But now that's what they say. It's everything now is transactional. It's sad. It's sad. Salute to everybody, man. Here we go. You know what I mean? The psychology of people who cut off their family. Yun lang naman ang inaan natin. Ano ba? My bad. What's behind the mind? What were the triggers these people that really they cut their family off? Look, or he feels like, or person feels like, look at that. Why did they cut me up? Who cut off who? Salute to everybody, man.
parent's mind refuses to hold them. When an adult child says, "You hurt me," the words don't enter a neutral space. They collide with the parent's identity. I am a good mother. I am a loving father. Anything that threatens that
Good day to everybody. You know, I mean, I have a special guest here, the one and only, Third Coast.
Top of
What's
the
up?
morning.
What's up? How are you doing today? How are you doing
I'm
today?
blessed, Boji. I can't complain. How are you and the family?
Good. Family's amazing, wonderful. I appreciate you for coming up the stage. What do you think about that? What do you think about this topic? Why do you think, I don't know, people or a person cut off
Mhm.
themselves from the family? Go ahead.
It could be a number of things. It could be misunderstandings. It could be anger. It could be trauma, past trauma. Um, Communication. It could be a lot of things. You know what I mean? But what I wanted to tell you was that this is a awesome topic because people need to study more psychological things. That way they can understand how to stop trauma, before it happens, or if it happened to us as
That's right.
parents, let's stop that curse. And then that way our children won't have to go through the trauma.
That's right. Some, I guess, that's why he said it's unconsciously that they did not know that they have it the whole entire time, and then now they have children, and then this trauma got passed on, but because it's now become habitual.
Exactly. And yet, have you ever heard the term? It's like, I was raised like this, so this is how I'm going to raise you. You see, and that didn't make it right, but that's just what they did.
Wow. You see, and the crazy part about it, look, because they make that statement, it is now normalized.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
normalized. But listen to this, though.
identity creates unbearable cognitive dissonance. To resolve that discomfort, the brain performs a kind of emotional erasure, not a conscious lie, a subconscious rewriting. There are three common forms of this erasure.
You see, you know what's the crazy part about it? I was listening and tapping to this. That even right, your face expression tell what type of emotion you have had. And
True.
we need to, and we need to more aware of this type of stuff. But because of now, if we could tell what type of trigger because of the line in their face they have. We shouldn't be using that word right next to these people, or else the moment that we start using this word, you can
It's
see the
gonna trigger
frown that
them.
go to, yeah, it triggered the frown on their face. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like a thumbprint. Yeah, I was reading about it, and I was, the other day, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, this is really intriguing to me because I like, you know what I'm saying, trying to understand psychological things, how the
Mm.
mind works, how other people react, what makes them react that way. You
Right,
know, all of that is good knowledge to me.
right.
So I had to tap in. I'm like, Boji,
Wonderful,
what? This is so good.
wonderful. And here is the thing, I did that, Bob, because, as I said, I pull up this clip about Beyonce. What do you think about that? And as I said, I got in 205 comment right now on this particular video, but because
Hmm.
look at the comment. I got in
Yeah.
so much mixed emotion. Look at this. Read that.
Hold on, let me turn my phone sideways. I can't see what it
It says,
says.
the industry is sick of mine, and then they feel like she is being violated. Though, you know what I mean? Look.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can see it now. I read what they're saying, but what I'm going to tell you, Boji, is that
Go ahead.
the Michael Jackson call wasn't eerie. It wasn't weird. It sounded like Mike to me. You know what I'm saying? We all
That's
love
right.
Mike. Okay, but the only weird part, me being a female, from looking in it as at a woman, well, a young, if I was her at that
Right.
young age of 16, 15, 16, and a adult man, a white man, it doesn't matter what race, but I'm just calling it because that's who he is. A
Right.
man is asking me, hey, come sit on my lap so you can talk to Michael Jackson.
Right.
That my dad told me about creeps.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Look.
what I'm saying? Like, so
People
that
say
part,
it's creep. Yeah.
yeah, that was very cringe, for him to want that
Wow.
young girl to sit on his lap. Like, you're not her relative, you're not her father, you're nobody related to her. It's like, you sit on my lap, I'll let you talk to Michael
Yeah.
Jackson
Yeah. Yeah.
in a playful way, and I didn't like that part.
Right. You know
Mhm.
what? Since you said that third, now I'm now wondering if these people are on the list of Epstein file.
Oh, absolutely. You better believe it. And
I-
Boji, I know you have a daughter because I congratulated you when she graduated and all of that good stuff.
That's right. I appreciate you. Yeah.
But you have to look at it as a father. Like,
That's
look
right.
at, picture that if that was your baby girl and she was
Right.
getting ready to do orchestra. They can fund you to do anything that you want to do if you're great at it. So what if she's just there, or she won a singing contract, and the guy, and she's like, oh my God, that's Michael Jackson, like anybody else probably would. And if a white man, if you were there with her and he told you, or he told her, hey, come sit on my lap, and I'll let you talk to Michael Jackson, how would you have felt if that
Look,
was your 16-year-old daughter?
I remember during this time, and this is the time of, you know what I mean, the prime of Michael Jackson. People, his aura, people passing out.
Yeah,
Just
that's
him,
true.
you know what I mean?
Right, they
Just
were
him falling out.
crying. Yeah, they were really. Yeah, they love
Yes.
Mike. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, though, would you have let that white man, that Caucasian man, to have your daughter sit on his lap?
If I'm the father, and I know, now you have to be there. You have to be, especially when this young age. You know what I mean? You have to be with them, and you know what I mean?
Right. I
And be
think I
as
would have coached as a mother. I'm sorry to cut you off, but as a mother,
no,
I
no
would have
worry.
said no. I would have said no, sir, absolutely not. I said she can stand right there and speak to Mike on the
Right.
phone. As a mother, because I know that that's a grown man. This is a minor. She has no reason, no reason to be sitting on this grown man's lap.
Here, you can do. You want to sit on? You want to make this easier? You can sit on my lap, Michael.
See, that's what made it weird right
Hi.
there.
Okay, okay. All right, we're in the studio, and I have Beyonce sitting on my lap, and I'm gonna put you on speakerphone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on speakerphone to talk to her, and give. Okay, you're shaking. Okay, you ready? Okay, hold on.
Oh no. I'm gonna pass out.
Michael.
Yes, Mark.
Here we go. I have Beyonce here.
Hi.
Hi, Beyonce.
How you doing?
Well, good. I really appreciate you doing this because we're giving back.
Yeah, that particular statement, I have people on the comment section asking what type of giving back they were talking about. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. What do you think that is, bro? Giving back
That part,
Go ahead.
well, that part of it, I feel like people are just, those are the people that are the Michael Jackson haters. You
Mm,
know, the ones that, forget that he's a human being. He was a human being as well, when he was
mm,
alive. He had feelings, whatever. I don't know what Michael Jackson did or whatever. That's none of my business. You see what
that's
I'm
right.
saying? But all I know is that I can't judge anybody because I'm not perfect.
Right.
So he without the first sin cast the first stone. So I think that they were in there trying to kind of what do you call it, diminish or put smut on his name, to try to, like, because he's saying he's giving back. So why is giving back a bad thing? Michael Jackson has always given back over the
Right.
years,
Look,
all of his years.
if Michael Jackson is talk about to give back Beyonce in the world for her amazing talent, that's the type
Right.
of give back. The whole entire world memorize all the song of Beyonce. It's
That's
the type
true.
of give back. So I don't even know why a lot. That's what you know what I mean. Look at my
I
title.
felt like he was just giving her flowers. She was very young. He noticed
Right.
that she was talented, and he was like, we're giving back in regards to the music aspect of it,
Yeah.
and all of that. So that's what I think.
Right.
I'm very honored. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Yes. sweet.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
But thank you. Brad Buxer is putting down the track now.
Right here, Michael.
Brad,
Yes.
you're putting down the track now.
Yeah, Beyonce's gonna go in the studio and lay it down now, and you're gonna give her inspiration.
Michael, when she was listening to the track, she fell in love with it immediately.
Yes, I did. I love it.
You did?
Yeah,
Yes.
immediately, Michael.
It's wonderful.
She lit up. I mean, immediately from the very first line of the first verse.
So please don't, Beyonce. My voice.
Your voice sounds great.
You sound
He was getting over the flu when we recorded this.
You know, the flu. I had the
And-
flu.
This is only his demo track for everyone.
That's
to
how his
hear,
voice
so,
sounds when it's
Yeah.
when he has the flu.
well, it sounds wonderful.
does.
And the first line I screamed. Literally I screamed.
And Michael, she's these guys can sing. I mean, she's gonna nail this. This is great.
Go ahead, third.
So with that clip that I'm watching right now, I don't see anything creepy about it. It's just the music industry things that you have to go through. She met Michael Jackson. They were going to do a song together. Well, met him over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Spoke with him.
Right.
They were going to do a song together, and that's just how the industry business works. But all it showed was that she was a fan. She was just excited to talk to Michael Jackson for the first time. The
Right.
second clip wasn't that bad. I don't see
Right.
nothing wrong with that.
So, you know what I mean? But as I said, that letting as a two adult, as a man, letting Beyonce sit on your lap is not cool.
It's not, because you're a grown man.
You could have
and
pulled the chair on the side. This is, you know what I mean, a icon.
Exactly. But they over sexualize women, especially the young women that are coming. They used to come like Foxy Brown, Little Kim. I'm saying like over the years, they over sexualize them so much that it's just like when it comes to the adolescents, you got to watch them because they're not of age yet. Even some of the adults don't even know what's going on.
Hey, think about it, Costa. If this clip, and we have this type of social media back in the days, and these guys go out in social media, be like, "Hey, I got Beyonce be sitting on my lap." People be like, "There is no way."
Right. That's true. I'm glad we didn't have it. Look, I'm glad we didn't have it, Boji, because we got a chance to experience what real fun was, going outside, having
Absolutely.
friends in real life, in real
Right.
time, enjoying your life for real. So I'm glad we didn't have it.
Absolutely. But let's get back to this topic though, bro.
Okay, Boji, I gotta drop down, but I'm gonna be listening. I'm in and out. Okay, but much
I
love.
appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much
Absolutely.
for stopping
I'll
by.
be
Salute,
pulling
salute
back
to
up.
Virgo. Wonderful,
Okay.
wonderful.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Blessings.
Thank you. And that's third ghost, guys. You know what I mean? She's tapping in from I think all the way to Texas. Let's go and let's get back to this. And that's what they say: the psychology of the people who cut off their family. Salute, salute to everybody.
1. Distortion, twisting the story until it no longer resembles the truth. 2. Minimization, it wasn't that bad, you're overreacting. 3. Projection, your partner turned you against me. The parent remembers the tone, not the content. They
Oh,
remember the tears.
oh, I like that. T is working together with no money involved. Is usually considering giving back. Oh, wow. But you know what I mean, T. That's why Beyonce, you know what I mean? As I said, that's why Beyonce got put on, but because of Michael Jackson. That's the first clip. She was so grateful. And as I said, you know what I mean? The clip is very, very controversial. The way, you know what I mean? We got very mixed emotion. You know, we got it's still going. The comment is still going till today. We have over like about almost 20,000 views. And it's going, as I said, it's mixed emotion that we're getting on this clip, bro. But some people think it's a very, very creepy.
But not their cause. They remember the confrontation, but not the years of pain that led to it. And when the child finally chooses distance, the parent's mind closes the final loop. They left for no reason. It becomes the last invalidation, the final proof that reconciliation is impossible. Before anyone goes no contact, they almost always pass through something far more subtle, an emotional prison made of fear, obligation, and guilt. Psychologists call it fog, and it explains why so many adults stay in toxic family systems decades longer than they want to. Fear is the first chain. Not fear of violence, though, that happens too, but fear of emotional retaliation, fear of being shamed, fear of being punished with silence, anger, or humiliation. In many households,
Salute to everybody for stopping. But then I feel like we all gonna go through, every single one of us go through this type of emotion. The only thing, the most important part about it is us how to react to this emotion. Make sure you don't let your emotion control you. Control and recognize the emotion when it passes, and analyze why this emotion is passing through your thoughts. And the moment that you start to do this and you could recognize why it's going through your thoughts, the collapse of your reality or the way it's will unfold, man, it is going to be amazing. Trust me. Make sure to recognize those negative thoughts. You know, magandang umaga dyan, Ate Shaggy. How are you today? Good day sa'yo dyan.
love is conditional and approval is weaponized. You learn early that stepping out of line means losing safety. Then comes obligation. The belief that you owe your parents your loyalty simply because they raised you.
You know, that shouldn't be anyone's responsibility. That shouldn't be your children's responsibility. And as a you know, as you yourself as a person, or it's not your responsibility to take care of your parents. To be honest with you, as a parent, right? As me, as a parent, let them enjoy their life. Let them express themselves. And we, as a parent's job, is to take care of them for the rest of their life, but because we conceive them. Not like now, as I said once again, everything now in this day and age, everything is transactional. I'll do this thing and you'll do it for me. Nah. We all have to do things unconditionally. If you're gonna do it, make sure there is nothing you need to ask in return. It shouldn't be you doing it because you do it for love. So might as well, if you're not gonna do it for love, might as well don't do it. If you're just gonna ask something and you do it because you're expecting for somehow in return, might as well don't do it. Don't make it a burden for a person that you do something for them that they're going to do something for you. But because, I said that sometimes at T, but because at the end days, right, I cannot change me for my wife, for my kid, for my dad, for my baba, because at the end days, individually, by yourself, you will answer yourself to the Creator if you believe the final judgment, right? If you believe on that particular understanding, it's just you. So if you are not living the way you're expressing yourself, the way you are going, what I mean? I feel like it's not you.
In American culture, this obligation is treated almost like a
That's what they said. The highest level of vibration of emotion is what? The highest vibration of emotion, the highest level of frequency. It's not love. It's not joy. It's authenticity. Authenticity, bro. It's not love. It's not, no. It surpasses all of that. Is authenticity, is just being you. That's the highest level of frequency.
moral debt. After everything I sacrificed for you, it doesn't matter how unhealthy
Authenticity.
the dynamic is. You are expected to stay, to serve, to comply. But the heaviest chain is guilt. Because guilt doesn't just control your actions, it controls your identity.
Right? Be authentic, man. I cannot even believe not a lot of people on this. That's why they want us to be yourself. Because the moment that you dwell upon that in the temple, you be authentic as you can, you vibrate in the certain frequency that before you even walk into any room, they understood. It's different. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to everybody. And authenticity is number one vibration frequency, and the number two is love. It's love. So first is you, and then now the word came out. Dwell upon the temple, it's in.
Whispers, "You're selfish. You're ungrateful. Good children don't walk away." And when a parent uses guilt as a tool, the child stops trusting their own emotional reality. FOG keeps people trapped long after the relationship has become harmful. It convinces you that leaving makes you a monster and staying makes you good. But the truth is simpler and harder. FOG is not.
But Terrence, before they find out that the authenticity is the higher frequency, the number one first is love. That's crazy, right? And then they find out the be authentic vibrate way higher frequency than anything in this reality. He expand miles. Salute sa ating mga kabro dyan. I appreciate you guys for stopping by on the stream. And We almost, end of our stream. We almost done with this understanding, man. It's beautiful. The psychology of people who cut off their family. We always understanding why. Paano nangyari? Why people cut off people? Salute everybody, man.
Not love. It's control made invisible, and recognizing it is often the moment the prison door begins to crack open. When someone goes no contact, outsiders imagine freedom, a clean break, a dramatic escape, a fresh start. But the truth is far quieter and far heavier. The aftermath often begins with a grief that has no name. Not the grief of death. There is no funeral, no rituals, no casseroles dropped at your door. This is ambiguous loss, a kind of mourning where the person is still alive, yet the relationship is not. You grieve two losses at once, the parent you had and the parent you needed but never received. This grief is complicated because it carries guilt, relief, sadness, and clarity all at the same time. One moment you feel liberated, the next you feel like the worst child in the world. Healing begins with accepting that both can coexist. But something else happens, something most people don't expect. Your body begins to change. For many survivors of toxic family systems, the nervous system has lived in subtle fight or flight for years. And when the source of stress is removed, the body reacts before the mind does. Your shoulders drop, your breath deepens. You sleep more deeply than you have in a decade. Your stomach aches disappear. Your chest loosens. This is somatic relief, the nervous system finally exhaling after a lifetime of bracing. And in that space, something new begins. Reparenting the self. Reparenting isn't about blaming your parents. It's about learning to give yourself what was missing. Validation without conditions, boundaries without punishment, love without
Validation without condition. And make sure you don't punish everybody, man.
fear. It looks like saying, I'm allowed to feel this, practicing self-kindness in moments of self-criticism, choosing rest without guilt, surrounding yourself with people who don't require you to disappear to be loved. Eventually, you start to rebuild an identity, not shaped by fear or obligation, but by choice. You discover your preferences, your voice, your emotional palette, pieces of yourself that were buried under survival mode. The paradox is this: estrangement breaks your heart before it sets you free. But the freedom, once it arrives, is real. It becomes the soil where a new, healthier version of you can finally grow. The truth about estrangement is this: you don't walk away to punish anyone. You walk away because your spirit can't survive inside a relationship that refuses to change.
You know, before you get lost with anything else, before we all drift away that far, make sure you choose yourself. Because if you are Christian, right, if you have the background with Christianity, you have to present yourself to the Creator, to God. Make sure you choose yourself. Don't let outside understanding words trigger you. If you can walk away, walk away. It's not worth your time. Choose yourself. Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is not selfish, guys.
No contact isn't the absence of love. It's the refusal to keep sacrificing yourself in the name of it. It's choosing truth over denial, peace over chaos, a future over a wound. And yet, many who take this step carry a haunting fear. Does this make me the villain? But choosing yourself is not cruelty. Setting boundaries is not betrayal. Healing is
Choosing yourself is not cruelty. Make sure you choose yourself. Self-love is not selfish, guys. It's all about preserving your mental health. You know what they say? Cut the generational curse. If you could cut it off now, and you recognize it that it is now becoming a behavior, cut it off now. You don't have to go through it. And always choose the right thing. Salute to everybody, man.
not ingratitude. Sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is stop abandoning themselves for the sake of preserving a story that was never true. So if you're on this journey or quietly considering it, remember this: you are not alone. You are not heartless. You are someone who finally decided that your life deserves safety.
You know, make sure you always find a way that your life deserves the very best thing in this world. God give us, the Creator give us all of the things for us to enjoy. The only thing that you have to do is what? Know what you want. And the moment that you start knowing what you want, all of these things shall be added upon you.
Dignity, and something softer than survival. There is a beautiful life on the other side of guilt, a life where you are allowed to exist without fear. If this video helped you feel seen, I hope you'll stay. Subscribe for more deep psychology breakdowns.
Salute to everybody. That's right. My 1 hours and 7 minutes is up. You know, I mean, I just had an amazing conversation yesterday with Selectable. My 1 hour is up. I appreciate everybody who stopped by at my stream. Third Coast, Ati Shaggy, Terrence, and to those who you know, I mean, didn't get a chance to comment, they just stopped in. I appreciate you guys so much. And this is Boji 2.2. You know, I hope you enjoyed the coffee, daily coffee, you know, psychology talk. I appreciate you guys so much. Salute to everybody. And we are out.